In the middle of the 14th century, the Black Death swept across Europe, killing an estimated 50 million people. Up to 60% of the continent's population was wiped out in a matter of years. Historically, we trace the plague's arrival to merchant ships and caravans traversing the Silk Road. These vast, interconnected trade networks carried goods across continents, and they easily allowed the disease to reach Europe's borders. Trade routes perfectly explain how the bacteria got there, but they do not explain the sheer, unstoppable speed at which it consumed every corner of the continent. Europe was completely defenseless. Its environment had been artificially stripped of its natural protections, priming the cities for a biological disaster. To understand this extreme vulnerability, we have to rewind over a century before the plague ever made landfall, back to the year 1233. During this era, the Vatican wielded absolute, unquestioned authority. Religious doctrine dictated everything, from daily peasant life to the boundaries of natural science. Because of that immense power, the severity of history's deadliest pandemic traces directly back to a bizarre, fear-driven religious decree. Pope Gregory IX officially declared that domestic cats were linked to Satan and the practice of witchcraft. Driven by superstition and a desire to follow papal orders, citizens initiated a massive continent-wide extermination of the feline population. Biologically, the public was doing something incredibly dangerous. They were actively removing an apex urban predator from their ecosystem. Through pure religious zealotry, humans broke the medieval food chain, leaving a massive vacuum at the top. This animated line chart illustrates exactly what happens next. The falling line represents the crashing cat population, which directly triggers the rising line, an exponential explosion of urban rats. If we overlay data on urban density, you can see that the rat population spiked highest in the most crowded, unsanitary human settlements. Medieval cities became perfect incubators. Fast forward back to 1347, when the Black Death finally reached the shores of Europe. The transmission vector for the plague was fleas, but to travel from house to house and infect humans, those fleas required a highly mobile host. Because of a papal decree issued 100 years prior, the disease found a continent crawling with perfect biological vehicles, ready to deliver the bacteria directly into human homes. This unchecked rat population acted as an accelerant. It turned a localized bacterial outbreak into a raging, continent-wide apocalypse. The sheer volume of death caused economies to collapse entirely, leaving survivors in a world that was almost completely unrecognizable. A holy war meant to spiritually cleanse the world of evil directly engineered its physical destruction. Ecologists call animals like cats a keystone species, a vital component that holds a habitat together. Human civilization relies entirely on the natural food webs we build our cities on top of. You cannot pull a single thread from an ecosystem without unraveling the whole system. The 1233 Cat Purge stands out as history's deadliest example of the butterfly effect.